Good morning, traders. This is Ed Carter with the Trader Vision 2020 Featured Trade Idea, the setup and trade plan for Wednesday, October 10th, 2018. Today's featured trade will be WRD Wild Horse Resources, and this is in the oil space, exploration and production. As we can see, well, first of all, before we start, let's look at overall markets, because that should play into things, certainly. Short-term trend, let me turn off the vol stop to make it clear. Long-term trend clearly upwards. We may have a blue ice failure in the SPY. We have in the short term, the bears are clearly in control. We're having trouble getting back up through the 50, having fallen down through it a couple of days ago, but we are holding that trend in the short term. What to do, I'm not sure. Markets aren't sure either. That's why we have indecisive candles down here. It's the bears are in short-term control, the bulls are in long-term control, and we're indecisive there. Your guess is as good as mine, and frankly, we should be very cautious at taking a strong lean overall, either bearish or bullish in our portfolio. Same story on the diamonds, with the exception of not being at the 50, just at a previous level that we're dealing with to the upside, and on the downside maybe as well, probably across these two highs right there. So let's just drop that line in there, probably like that. So again, we may be at support. We are indecisive, and in the short term, the bears have been in control. So where does that put us? I'm not sure. I think Wild Horse correlates to the IWM, which has been much more bullish, much more bearish, or at least bearish for longer, but again, indecision and possibly finding support right here at the 200. So the bears are in control, but it seems like the markets are not real sure where they're going at this point. Okay, with that said, let's go back to Wild Horse. And clearly the bulls have been in control. We've got a head and shoulders pattern, inverted head and shoulders pattern here. There is a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. That was the breakout line in here, something like that. We have broken out. We have consolidated here after that beautiful long bullish run. Let's do a measurement on that. That was a run of something in the neighborhood of into this area, something in the neighborhood of 28% before consolidating here for the last week and a half. And in that consolidation now, we've posted a couple bullish signals. We've got a morning star signal here from last week, and then this week we have posted a Doji Continuation pattern. Some of you might call it a Doji sandwich. This first candle of that Doji Continuation has a lot of wicks, but you can see fairly large body, very indecisive day, fairly large body on a breakout. So we'll be looking for this to follow through, maybe even get an inside day buy here on this previous markup that I had. So if we could get a buy right in this area, let's call it 24.13. Where's the fibs? Or the V stop puts our stop right in the area that I've got marked out. It's actually a little bit below where I've got it marked out, but I was using across, just eyeballing it across the bottom of those lows for my stop. My first target is up here, which is basically the top of that 50 moving average, but also support and resistance there. And then another level up here. And let's go out to, let's try an 8-day first. Not enough history here. But you can see I'm just trying to grab as many touches as I can. It could go up a little bit. It could come down a little bit. But it's right in that area. And this other one, trying to catch as many touches as I can, as close as I can. But it's just someplace right in that area. Same thing if we go to a weekly, a few more candles, a few more touches, but the areas are still basically the same. So those levels, about 27.5 and about 26 and a dime, give or take, are going to be the target areas. Again, it's an area, not to the penny. With that said, let's go ahead and see if we can't plan out a trade. Okay, we can see that Wild Horse reported on 8/7, so we should have about a month until earnings. We've got 4 bullish conditions, 2 bearish conditions. What are the 2 bearish conditions? They are the symbol bias on the long term. That's because of this downtrend, which has now been resolved with that inverted head and shoulders and breaking of that downtrend. Let's just draw it in there. If it was something like this, we have broken that downtrend and we're headed back up. And it was the market bias in the short term, as I showed you before. The bears are in control. We are not calling this a Doji continuation pattern, but that would make it 5-2. We do have some higher highs and higher lows working for us. Let's go ahead and plan this out. Oh, let's move this over here so I can see a little better. Let's call it a yeah, like a 2410 entry. Try to keep a round number here with the stop down here of 2320 and a first target up here of 2610, second target up there of 2745. Again, these are approximations. Trade Vision tells us we can do 166 shares. Let's try 200. I think that'll be too much, but we'll try. It is. Let's go back to 150. Still pretty tight, but I'm going to accept that. If we were to sell 75 at that first target, we do get our greater than 2 to 1. We get 2.2 to 1. We would make $300 if we had to sell our entire position at that first target. So we would not quite make our trade goal if this was a valid trade goal for your account size. But risking 135 to make 300 is not too bad there. If we can sell half and hold on to the rest till that second target, we would get almost 14% of that second piece. That would give us over 11% overall and a $401 profit. So we would in fact then make our trade goal. So this will be our trade idea for Wednesday. Please evaluate this against your view of the market. And again, it's very dicey. The bears have been in control short term, but extremely short term markets are indecisive and not sure where they're going, with resistance above and support below. But view this against your view of the market. Consider your own trading style, rules, and criteria. If you do decide to take this trade, I wish you the best of luck. In either case, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification icons below this video if you enjoy them, and I hope to see you in the trading room.